No girl should ever be put in the situation that they were put in by Epstein. Those people, and for even my ex-husband, they need to answer to those things, not me. For me, it's personally hard whenever those details come up, right? Because
Melinda French Gates has broken her silence, and the Epstein files are dragging old wounds back into the spotlight. Speaking on NPR's Wild Card podcast, she admitted the new revelations bring back very, very painful times from her marriage to Bill Gates. Her reaction? Unbelievable sadness, and one blunt line that's now everywhere. I'm so happy to be away from all the muck.
Well, let me say this. I think we're having a reckoning as a society, right? No girl should ever be put in the situation that they were put in by Epstein and whatever was going on with all of the various people around him. No girl. I mean, it's beyond heartbreaking, right? I remember being those ages those girls were. I remember my daughters being those ages, right?
The Department of Justice dump includes Epstein's own claims about Gates, allegations his team calls absolutely absurd. Important detail, Bill Gates has not been accused of wrongdoing by any Epstein victim. Still, with millions of pages now public, pressure is rising, and Melinda says the answers don't belong to her.
For me, it's personally hard whenever those details come up, right? Because brings back memories of some very, very painful times in my marriage, but I have moved on from that. I purposely pushed it away, and I moved on. I'm in a really unexpected, beautiful place in my life. So whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband.
Hours after Melinda French Gates' explosive interview pushed the Epstein controversy back into global headlines, the Microsoft co-founder addressed fresh allegations surfacing in newly released Justice Department files, with his team blasting the claims as absolutely absurd and completely false.
I met Jeffrey in 2011. The focus was always he knew a lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to global health. You know, in retrospect, that was a dead end, and I was foolish to spend time with him.
Bill Gates has broken his silence as newly released Epstein files continue to rock powerful figures around the world. The Microsoft co-founder is now flatly denying explosive claims that surfaced in the latest U.S. Justice Department document dump, calling allegations made by Jeffrey Epstein false and insisting he had no involvement in criminal behavior. Gates addressed the controversy in an interview with an Australian channel, CH9, as scrutiny intensifies over Epstein's vast network of elite contacts. The tycoon confirmed he met Jeffrey Epstein in 2011, years after Epstein's first conviction, but described the relationship as a mistake he deeply regrets.
I met Jeffrey in 2011. The focus was always he knew a lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to global health. You know, in retrospect, that was a dead end, and I was foolish to spend time with him. I was one of many people who regret ever knowing him.
Gates stressed that he never visited Epstein's private Caribbean island, a site central to many abuse allegations, and denied any inappropriate conduct.
You know, it's factually true that I was only at dinners. You know, I never went to the island. I never met any women. And so, you know, the more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
The comments come after the release of new Epstein files, including 2 emails Epstein sent to himself in July 2013. The emails contain unverified allegations claiming Gates had extramarital sex with Russian women, resulting in a sexually transmitted infection that allegedly required antibiotics. One email claims Gates sought to secretly give those antibiotics to his then-wife, Melinda Gates. In another document, Epstein drafted what appears to be a resignation letter written from the perspective of someone identified as Boris. The letter alleges that Epstein assisted Gates in obtaining drugs and facilitating illicit relationships. Now, Gates has categorically denied these claims.
Apparently, Jeffrey wrote an email to himself. That email was never sent. The email is, false. So I don't know what his thinking was there. It just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret and I, apologize that I did that.
The documents are part of a massive congressionally mandated release under the Epstein Files Transparency Act. The U.S. Justice Department published nearly all remaining materials more than a month after the December 19, 2025 deadline. The act was passed by Congress and signed into law by U.S. President Donald Trump in November. Justice officials caution that many documents include unverified claims submitted by members of the public and do not constitute proof of wrongdoing. Earlier releases named prominent figures including Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Mick Jagger, Woody Allen, Larry Summers, Elon Musk, and others, none of whom have been charged or accused by law enforcement. The latest batch has also reignited scrutiny surrounding Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew. Newly released photos show Andrew on all fours over an unidentified woman, both fully clothed. The images lack context, and it is unclear when or where they were taken. Andrew has repeatedly denied all allegations of wrongdoing, but has been stripped of his royal titles and duties. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has suggested Andrew should cooperate with U.S. investigators examining Epstein's activities. Despite that pressure, Mountbatten Windsor has ignored requests from the U.S. House Oversight Committee for a transcribed interview regarding his long-standing friendship with Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein died in a New York jail cell in 2019 while waiting trial for federal sex trafficking charges involving dozens of underage girls. Years later, the fallout from his crimes continues to ripple outward, ensnaring some of the world's most powerful figures in allegations, denials, and renewed public scrutiny. For Bill Gates, the message is clear. He says his association with Epstein was a mistake and insists it went no further. As more files are reviewed and released, questions remain about who knew what and when.